And now, if you're able, please stand and give a warm Roswell Park welcome to the 57th Governor of the great state of New York, Governor Kathy Hochul.
So I welcome you all, a warm Buffalo welcome. It's not as cold maybe as it was yesterday, but still it is winter here in Buffalo. It's a new day in the fight against cancer. The news that brings us together today is more than a decade in the making, a milestone moment for Roswell Park and New York State and actually the world. We're joined by one of Roswell Park's biggest champions, Governor Kathy Hochul. I've known Kathy for a long time. Long before we were in these leadership roles, we've always had a very close relationship. We've shared many sort of milestones of our own, some personal, some not. And I'm just so thrilled to be here with you today. So thank you for everything that you do. Today's announcement continues the momentum of New York State's innovation economy. It's a huge milestone in making sure that New Yorkers can access the very best cancer care here, right at home, in little old Western New York, Buffalo, New York. Thanks to Governor Hochul's deep engagement with us and an outstanding support from Empire State Development Team, we put together a grant application to New York State for these innovative steps. And this is for us to be able to really take care of the sickest patients. What we're doing here today is so exciting. You're going to hear a lot of stuff, and hopefully you can share with us. This has resulted in the advanced space of its kind for any academic institution in America. We set out to build something unique among centers like Roswell Park. This could only probably happen in an NCI designated center, one which, if you've watched the news, we were exceptional. Just had to throw that in. But we realized that this vision would not be complete if we didn't have a champion like Governor Kathy Hochul and the Empire State Development. They really have worked tirelessly with this. Mo, I don't know where you went, but thank you. You've been huge in this effort as well. We really appreciate your support. And so with that, I'm delighted to introduce our champion for cancer patients everywhere, Governor Kathy Hochul.
What a great day for Buffalo. I'm not just talking about the game, but as long as we're talking about the game, how extraordinary was that? It just felt so Buffalo, you know, everybody was so excited and energetic, and to just run up the score like that. I'm not going to go through all of it, but thank you, Josh Allen, for being the, for our MVP, soon to be the nation's MVP of football this year and for many years to come, because you lift our spirits. And as we think about this holiday time and find ourselves at Roswell, something else we are so proud of, in addition to the Buffalo Bills, we're so proud of Roswell, which has also shaped our identity. People think of us for many, many reasons, and one is that we have exceptional cancer care in an institution that really punches above its weight. For a community of our size to offer what Roswell offers, but not just in the past and present, but their forward-looking leadership, embracing new technologies, this is what I find so exciting. And the leader of those efforts, is Candace Johnson, and I want to thank you. It is not an easy job to be where you are. You have stepped up, you have excelled, and I thank you. Thank you for your commitment as well. Almost 2 years ago, I stood before the legislature, and many of them are here with me today. And I want to give a special shout out to my friends, my Western New York team, my own. I'm not to say I'm Josh Allen, I'll never say that, but these are the people that support me so intensely when we go to Albany and have to fight for projects that affect Western New York. And the leader of that team is none other than the majority leader of the New York State Assembly, Crystal Peoples-Stokes, who thank you. Without her voice, I could assure you that over many, many years of her service, we would not have had the major projects and the dollars delivered to this region. So she is exceptional, and she'll always be at my side as we go forward. Also, Senator Pat Galvin has joined us. Great to see you, Pat. Happy holidays to you and your family. Assembly Member Bill Conrad, the same to you. Thank you for your support. Assembly Member Monica Wallace, extraordinary leader. We look forward to her next chapter. It's great to see Buffalo Mayor Chris Scanlon. And congratulations on the snow removal, okay? Because it can go either way. I know this. So thank you and all of our local elected officials. And I'll be introducing Chris Vogelsang and thanking him for sharing his story in a few moments. But when I stood before the legislature, which is the State of the State address, which I'm actually working on now for January, I made a commitment to the people of the state. I said we would strive to do what others before have believed was impossible, that we could actually heal the sick and create a world where there's less pain and suffering. And in the process, we could create jobs, foster a whole new innovative industry that would revitalize local economies across our state, but particularly here in Western New York. And my friends at Roswell and across this community know I keep my word. I said we would do this. So today we open a $98 million Roswell Park Cell and Gene Therapy Center supported by $30 million from the state of New York. That's what a commitment's all about. And we're not just radically changing health outcomes for decades to come. We're ensuring that Buffalo and Western New York will always be known at the cutting edge of this as the hub of life-saving research. And cell and gene therapy sounds a little futuristic, maybe kind of like out of Star Trek or something, but the possibilities it holds, it's not science fiction. It's reality. It's happening. And CGT is one of the fastest growing treatment tools in our medical field today. And it has unlimited potential for changing the outcomes for individuals diagnosed with cancer and rare diseases. And with this, the cells are growing outside the body. This is fascinating to me. Or genes are introduced to eradicate harmful mutations. And then they're fine-tuned in the lab and reintroduced into the patient, and they quickly go to work. It's brilliant. And I thank all the doctors and the medical teams who are the brilliant minds behind this that's happening right here. It's so amazing to me. And the doctors call this a paradigm shift. And the applications are nearly unlimited. And we're already seeing positive results as we treat not just cancer, but ALS and Parkinson's, heart disease, MS, and so many more. This scientific revolution is changing lives already and holds deep personal meaning to me. Those of you who know me growing up here in Western New York, who knew my parents, knew my mother, a real leader. She was one of the first voices back in the 70s to stand up for victims of domestic violence. She helped start Haven House. She was a counselor for families and people, and she used to take us as kids to the Neighborhood Information Center on Sycamore that she helped start with Sister Despensada, those who remember this story, helping people in need, senior citizens, people of all backgrounds who are falling on hard times. She used to take me to the Perry Street projects as a kid. We'd be going up the stairs with lots of food for people and helping them. We didn't have a whole lot ourselves. We were shopping at used clothing stores. We were buying discount groceries. But my mom knew there were people who needed more. And I want you to know she instilled those values in me that are still with me today. And when my mother got the diagnosis of ALS, for someone who used her voice for others and to lose her own voice, it was rather tragic. But she always pointed to the sign on her refrigerator that she lived her life by, where she used to say, go into the world and do well, but more importantly, go into the world and do good. I try to live Mom's story, the lesson she taught me every single day. And I only wish that we could have had therapies like this. I lost her right before I became lieutenant governor, and I miss her every single day. And so many other families have similar stories. I'm not unique. I'm not the only one. I know that. But I'm so committed to this. And even ALS, last year we committed $25 million, first time ever, to fund ALS research. And that was an effort that was helped partnered by one of the great innovators and builders in New York City, Dr. Dan Doctoroff. Look up his name. Many, many significant projects associated with him. And since his diagnosis, he became a champion for ALS. It's also another reason why I just spoke to beloved former Congressman Jack Quinn on Friday about Parkinson's and how I signed the Parkinson's registry bill that he championed along with Michael J. Fox Foundation. These are all personal reasons to me on why we have to keep fighting harder. And patients who have this diagnosis, they and their families want to know one thing, that everybody in the whole system, from their state government to the institution that's giving them their care, places like Roswell, all the advocates, all of them are fighting and fully committed to working nonstop toward treatments and cures. And I will say this again, first governor from Buffalo since Grover Cleveland. I'm actually told he's from New Jersey. And that's where he's buried, okay? So I might just be Buffalo's only governor, okay? But because of that, I know what Roswell means to this community. This is just not the name of another institution. We have thousands of institutions. Yes, they're all important, but I know what Roswell means because my friends and their loved ones have been saved by Roswell. So I come here. I didn't want to miss this event. Heading to Albany momentarily, but I said, I have to be here to tell this community what you already know. But as your governor, I can sing your praises all over the state because I know what goes on here and I know how you keep people alive and you do everything you can. What a dedicated staff you have here. These are God's angels on earth, and I thank all of you. I thank all of you. And I knew when we came forth with our $620 million, our life science initiative, that I wanted to make sure that Roswell was part of this. And I'm going to continue. And this continues our investment. We're not done yet. Don't keep asking for money every day. But it's not just success by a building, a place. Success is measured by more grandkids getting to know grandma and grandpa. Its success is more holiday tables that are not empty but full. And more families, fewer families that know the loss of the most beloved person in their life. We can stop that. This is how we do it. And I'm so grateful to the Roswell family and to Western New York for your support and the philanthropy and all the people who believe in this. Because you know, I'm a Buffalo Bills backer and I'm a Roswell backer, and I always will be. So thank you. Thank you so much. And I want you to also meet an individual, the face of what I'm talking about. We're not talking in hypotheticals. Real people's lives are being changed and lengthened, and they're here. And Christopher Vogelsang is one of those stories. He knows the work that's being done here. He and his wife, Karen, have a powerful story to share with you that I want you to take pride in, all of you, and know that when Christopher was diagnosed with lymphoma back in 2008, it's a long time ago, he underwent cell therapy here at Roswell. I'm so proud to say that Christopher is in remission and he's here to tell us his story. And let's give Christopher a warm welcome and tell him, let the world see the faces of those whose lives have been prolonged, lengthened, and enriched because of Roswell. Thank you, Christopher. Thank you to you and your family. Let's welcome up.
Find my notes. They hit it on me. They really hit it on me. No. I'm sorry. I thought mine was here. That's it.
That's it.
There you go.
Great. Thank you. Go Bills. That's always helps lighten up the room. Good morning. I'm Chris Fogelsang, and I am a cancer survivor twice. It is an honor to participate in this event, which highlights the groundbreaking cancer care for patients and especially for Roswell's commitment to the research and further development of CAR-T cancer care. Over the past year, I was featured in a Donor Dollars newsletter and then interviewed by Adam Benini prior to the ride for Roswell. I guess I've become the poster boy for CAR-T. I'm here today to share my journey and express my gratitude for the life-saving work being done at Roswell. Everyone who goes through their cancer journey has a unique story. Mine is just one of many, as the governor mentioned. In 2008, I had a routine blood check and enlarged spleen. After an exam, my doctor said simply, "I think you have cancer." I was 54 at the time. I'd grown up in great health, played lots of sports, took care of myself, and hadn't had so much as a cold in years. It was a real gut punch. I came to Roswell in 2009 and had a stem cell transplant, which was completed in the spring of 2010. Compounding my situation during this time was that my late wife had started her treatment with the return of metastatic breast cancer. It was a tough year. Thankfully, we both had family and friends who supported us. However, in the spring of 2010, Charlotte passed away after her long battle. She never gave up. Later that year, I met Karen, but I wasn't ready to start dating. But for some reason, she was on my mind, as if maybe we or both of us were being guided to new chapters in our life. Fast forward to 2019, when a test revealed my lymphoma had returned. I started on a chemo pill as a bridge treatment, which effectively and luckily held off a need for treatment for 3.5 years, just the amount of time for CAR-T to arrive at Roswell. In 2022, when we met Dr. Hernandez, he indicated I could have a second cell transplant or CAR-T. I asked which offered the best quality of life, and he answered immediately, CAR-T. After I completed the CAR-T transplant, it took some time to regain my strength and weight. Today, I'm active with golf, tennis, walking, and back to a normal and very busy life. I don't think I can fully express my appreciation for Roswell, the doctors, PAs, nurses, phlebotomists, and everyone here, I mean everyone, who for their care and treatment, which has brought me to this point in my life. During my first transplant, back in 2009, the nurses talked about patients who look at their transplant as new life or a birthday event. And with my transplants, I had to go through a series of vaccinations as if I were a newborn. I couldn't have gone through the rigors of my first transplant without the support of my first wife, Charlotte, nor could I have come through the second one without the support of my beautiful wife, Karen. I'm lucky to say in all sincerity, I was married to the love of my first life, and now I'm married to the love of my second life. I took the shortcut to grandchildren. We now have 9 with 1 on the way. It's special when both of our families adore each other for their new and extended families. It's wonderful. And I believe having a child with Down syndrome has put many things in perspective for me and for our families. We're truly blessed. I am incredibly grateful for Roswell and for the science of CAR-T, and I am living proof that the work being done here changes lives. This is an exciting time with science moving so quickly, and an exciting time for Roswell in committing to the future of CAR-T. Thank you, Roswell, all of you. I'd now like to invite the Governor, the Governor Hochul and Dr. Johnson, and to, of course, Karen, to stand with me as I ring the bell.
Please remain seated for the ringing of the bell.